my channel. Today is my Get to Know Me Part 3 video. I am so nervous, you guys. Today I'm going to do Part 3 of my Get to Know Me video, and I will link Part 1 and Part 2 in the description box down below. I filmed those videos within like the first couple of months of having my channel, so the editing isn't the best, and I'm very, very awkward and very uncomfortable in front of the camera, so just forgive me. I mean, it is what it is, but those videos were really good, especially the last one when I discussed something that really happened to our family that was very, very personal and very, very hard to deal with. So I encourage you guys, after you get done watching this video, to head over to those two videos I will leave in the description box. And you know, that's just a better way for you guys to get to know me even more than what's in this video. I do apologize because this video is going to be quite long. I think I have around 30 questions here to go through. I recently asked you guys in my community center to go ahead and ask me any question you want. I'm an open book. There's no questions that are completely off limits. Like, I don't really mind answering personal questions. I've always been that way. I've been always very honest and very open. Sometimes too much, but you know, I'm an open book. Every time I do a Get to Know Me video, at the end of the video, I choose whatever question I feel like was the best question, whether it was just that it was the most unique or resonated with me or whatever it is. I pick that comment to be the winner and I send them a free gift. And so that's what we're going to do today. And at the end of the video, I will show you guys what the free gift is and who is the winner. So I do apologize for the length of this video, and I do have quite a few questions, and I really don't want to. I want to answer them thoroughly and honestly, but I will delete the tangents because Lord knows I can go on some pretty good tangents. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, first question is from Shelly. She says, do you find at our age, I'm almost 38, that you're having a hard time with accepting aging? I find it's such a weird age because we're not old, but we're not young anymore. It's something I've started struggling with a bit eternally this past year, and I'm just wondering how you cope with these feelings if you have them. I have just loved watching your channel so much since I found you, because I finally found someone my age on here, and you are so sweet and down to earth. Okay, well, thank you so much, Shelly. And she has the prettiest makeup. She does the prettiest makeup on her Instagram. I just love her. I'm glad we're starting with that question because I feel like that is a very important question. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. It does not bother me at all that I'm going to be 40 this year. Maybe it should more than it does, but it doesn't. It's weird to say. I'm like, wait, I'm going to be 40? This is crazy. But I'm not worried about it. Now, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm going to be 40. What am I going to do? I am so proud of who I am today, and I would not go back to my 20s or my early 30s for anything in the world. I just wouldn't. I am so proud of who I am as a woman. Those life lessons, those hard knock life lessons, they have molded me into who I am today, and I'm very proud to be who I am. I don't feel like age is about the number. Age is about the wisdom and the person you become. When I look at people who are in their 20s and 30s, I almost have sympathy for them because they still don't know who they are. And I would say probably around that like 34, 35-year-old range, I really, really started to do a lot of soul searching to find out who I really am and what really makes me happy. And, you know, sometimes, I'm sure you guys know this, as a mom and a wife, sometimes you know, my husband and I have been married since I was 21, and I had a child really fast. And so my entire 20s, I was wrapped up in being a mom and a wife and doing those duties. And I kind of pushed like who I was and what made me happy to the side. And I did that for many, many years. And it's kind of what comes with being a mom. But I also should have taken a little bit more time for myself, even though I love my children and I wouldn't trade that time with them for anything. But I do feel like I kind of did push myself to the side more than I probably should have. But I think that's kind of nature for us women. We just do that. We're always the people that really want to come in and fix everything, and we take on all these different hats and we just keep putting them on, and we just forget about who we are. I remember my grandmother always told me that you're only as old as you want to be, and I know that's so cliche, and I know that everybody says that, but if you think about the meaning behind that, that is the truth. And even though I do a lot of good skincare to try to keep my skin good, or I've been doing Botox to try to help with my wrinkles, all of that is superficial. I would totally take all of that away and still be happy to be the person that I am today. So I feel like instead of thinking about the age or thinking about the number, think about who you were in your 20s and your early 30s, and think about all those hard life lessons that you had to go through, and think about who they made you become. It shouldn't be a negative thing. It's like, oh my God, you're gonna be 40. Oh my God, you're gonna be 50. There's such this negative attachment to that I feel like if we take that attachment off of it and we embrace it and we be proud of being the age that we are, I feel like there's no reason to be negative about it. There's no reason to make it a negative thing. If you're struggling with turning a certain age, I challenge you to every single time you have a negative thought about turning 40 or whatever it is, immediately replace it with a positive thing. Whether it's, you know, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 40 and look at these wrinkles, come on. And then you're like, no, but you know what? I still look pretty dang good. And I got great hair. You immediately replace it with something positive. And eventually you'll almost retrain your brain to stop thinking so negatively. You'll just start seeing it in a positive light. So I hope that that answers her question. And that is an awesome question though. And hopefully it was helpful. The next question is from Tara. Hi Tara. Tara here. How you doing? Her question is, do you feel like it's hard to fit in with the YouTube beauty guru community? You seem so genuinely real, and that's hard to come by with some. Love your videos, by the way, and not only because we share the same name. That's freaking awesome. Actually, no. And I think it's because I don't really care to fit in with them. I don't know how to say this without sounding bitchy. You'll never see me put them on a pedestal. Don't get me wrong. They are some talented people in this community, and there's some people that are not so talented. There's some people that are just dramatic and I can't stand to watch them. You've got a mixture of everything, but I don't really care to fit in with them. In fact, I don't really care to ever meet them. Like, I don't think I will ever be that type of person that would ever go on brand trips or anything like that, because that's just not who I am, you guys. I don't really care to fit in with the people. I've never been that person that wants to fit in. I wasn't even that way in high school. I just don't care about stuff like that. I don't know why, but I just don't, and I never have. So I don't really care if I ever fit in or not. Like, I just don't care. For me, I'd rather meet the genuine people here on YouTube than some of the bigger influencers that are, have these big, large platforms and they're a-holes to everybody. Like, that's just not my thing. And if I met a negative, bitchy influencer, I would probably tell them how I felt, like right then and there. I'm kind of that person. As I've gotten older, I'm in the no bullshit zone, and you can't bullshit me. You can't fool me. You're either genuine or you're not. 9 times out of 10, I'll probably never meet them and I'll never be in a room with them, and I'm totally okay with that, because what this is for me is not about that, which is probably why I don't care about it. Having this channel is to communicate with you guys and create that relationship with you guys. So I don't really care about fitting in with them. I just don't care. Is that mean? That's mean. That's mean. Okay, we're going to continue. Michelle Moody asked, did you feel kind of intimidated or apprehensive when starting your channel due to your older than most YouTubers? And please don't be offended by my question. I am in my 30s and that's why I watch you. In my opinion, we need more mature YouTubers because we all age, and what I need for my aging face is not what they need for their flawless 20-something faces. I'm a newbie to your channel, and I'm liking that you're real and have some of the same issues I do. Oh my gosh, 100%. I wasn't apprehensive about starting my channel because I felt like there was no room for me in the community. I felt like there was major room for me. Like, I felt like there was that need, and the reason why I feel that way is because when I turned 35, I was trying, my skin was kind of acting up, and this is when I was doing my hyperpigmentation and my acne, and it was a mess. And I needed to basically relearn how to do my makeup because what I was doing was not working, and my makeup was making everything look worse. So I went to YouTube to try to learn and try to educate myself on how to change the way I did my makeup to make me look better rather than worse. And I found that there wasn't a lot of help, like as far as in my age group. They were all in their 20s. And like you said, you nailed it. I can't do my makeup the way they do because it don't work. I mean, it'll look good from afar, but when you look up close, it's not gonna look very good. Struggled trying to find that person that I really connected with that was my age. So I thought about doing my channel years ago, and then I kind of pushed it to the side, and I, then decided one day, you know what, I'm just gonna do this because I do have passion for beauty, and I've been giving makeup tips and sharing whatever for years with my family and friends. And so I was definitely not apprehensive about starting it. I felt like there was a need for it. But that's a fantastic question, Michelle. You rock. The next question is, I'm going to botch this name because I don't think it's in English. Mean Libby Family. I have no idea. I will put it right here because I have no idea, and I don't want to disrespect her by botching her name because she leaves the sweetest comments ever. Oh my gosh, I love you. I'm so sorry. I would like to know about you. When you had your first child, second, of course, how long you have been married, how did you start your channel, in which country you live, your experience with Botox. Gosh, I'm sorry. That's too many questions, but it's all very interesting to me. Okay, really quick. I married my husband when I was 21, so we've been married for 18 years. My son was born when I was 21. Got married and had a child within that same year. My second child, I was 23 when she was born. And how did I start my YouTube channel? I basically answered the last question, but I just decided I was going to do it. But it did take me 3 months after I bought all the equipment. Took me 3 months to actually start it because it was very embarrassing for me. It was very embarrassing to sit in this room and talk to nobody. Like, girl, it was embarrassing. Which country do you live in? I live in America. And my experience with Botox. Well, let me just tell you, Botox is my best friend. And even though maybe my forehead is a little bit too tight, but that's the way I like it. I don't care what everybody else says. I like it. I've been getting Botox for probably 3 or 4 years. I had filler done right here. This has been probably 4 years ago. And it hurt so bad. I've never had it done again. And I enjoy doing Botox. I get it done every 3 months. And yeah, I feel like it's a preventative thing as well. So even though it really, really tightens up my forehead, I feel like it's preventative. Okay, so this question is from Janine. She says, hey, Fave. It's so sweet. I've always wondered, but then scolded myself that it's none of my damn business, but how do you afford to buy so much makeup? Do you have enough supplemental income from YouTube, or do you have a generous husband, or are you working the pole as a side gig? That's so funny. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is so funny. Oh my God, that's a funny question. No, I don't get, okay, so do I make enough supplemental income? No, I don't make a lot of money doing YouTube. Oh my gosh. I did just get my first check, and I'll be honest with you, I did. And it was for the entire time I've been on YouTube. So I made $2,000 in 14 months, and I was really, really freaking stoked. I can't even tell you how happy I was. I don't do this for the money, believe me. My husband and I, we've had our ups and downs financially, especially when the market crashed in 2008. Oh my gosh. It hit us hard, and we had to move, and I've been very, very broke. And when my husband and I were first married, we were very, very poor. And then, he started making really good money, and then we lost it all, and then we've had to rebuild it. We are smarter with money as far as my husband and I own our own business, and we basically flip houses. We do like restorations on, my husband specializes in historic homes, and so we flip a lot of houses for the city, or, the city buys houses under foreclosure and he remodels them and sells them. And we've done a few on our own on the side. But my grandfather always told me, it's not what you make, it's how you spend it. And that is so true. I have tried to find all these different ways of like Ebates and using credit cards that have really, really good points so that I can get money back, or, get free plane tickets or whatever it is. So yeah, my husband and I do pretty good financially. We're not rich. Let's be clear, we're not rich. We're not rich. We do pretty well. My husband and I work really, really hard. He knows that this is a passion of mine. I've followed him down some rabbit holes before. Some worked out and some didn't, but I've always been behind his dreams, and So when I approached him then with this, and you know, he was like, well, you're already buying half the makeup anyway, so you might as well do a channel. I'm like, you're right. So he is very supportive. I'm very, very blessed. I think it would be amazing to have a career on YouTube. I do think it would be amazing, but that's not what I do it for, honestly. I really am here to... I'm buying most of the products. I mean, there's some products here that I buy just to review, but there's a lot of the products I would buy regardless whether I had the channel or not. I would probably say 50-50. Some of the products I would buy on my own without having a channel, and some of them I buy for review. And I felt like, why not share it with you guys? That's a great question though, and it's not personal. I mean, I feel like there's probably so many of you out there that probably wonder that, right? But no, I don't get PR. I've gotten a few PR packages. Like Wonder Beauty sent me a phenomenal box of products that I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so many products. What am I gonna do with all these? I was like a kid in Christmas. Sigma Beauty sends me PR every once in a while. But I don't have a lot of PR sent to me. And let's just be completely honest. If I did ever reach the point of receiving PR, I'd probably give 80% of it away anyways. So it would be, you know, I wouldn't keep it. I mean, I see so many people hoarding makeup, and I just look at them like, why do you need all that shit? Like, why do you need all that makeup? I've given a big old box to charity. I just went to the women's shelter a couple weeks ago, and was a wonderful, wonderful experience that I will never forget. And one day I might share it with you guys if you're interested in hearing it, but I don't want to talk about it because it'll make me cry today, but it was the best experience that I've had in a long time. So Kelly Wolf asked, my question is, do you believe in the paranormal? And have you ever had an experience or seen something you could or could not explain? If so, what was it? Oh my gosh, yes, do I believe in the paranormal? I didn't believe in it until my stepdaughter passed away. It was the hardest time that we've never been through anything like that. And, you know, my husband losing a child, I don't wish that on anybody. It was horrible. But I would say like 2 days after she passed away, I started having these crazy things happen around the house that have just made, like, you knew that there was something there, but you couldn't see it. This just happened to me a couple of months ago. There's so many situations, you guys. It would take me a whole video to tell you all the things that has happened in this house the last 3 years since my stepdaughter passed away. But this has been a couple months ago. I was in my closet. My husband and I were going to a football game the next day. And if you guys know me, I'm a very ritual person, and I always like laying out everything the night before. Whatever I'm doing the next day, I think about it the night before. I don't know why, that's who I am. And we had recently gotten her car, and we had found this big umbrella in her car. And I had brought it in and stuck it in my closet where I keep a few of my umbrellas. And when I was thinking about going to the football game the next day, I'm like, you know what? I need to get an umbrella because I don't want to forget an umbrella. Like, while I'm thinking about it, I just got to do it. Because I don't know if you guys are like that, but if I don't do it when I'm thinking about it, I'll forget. Gosh, this is a huge umbrella. I'm thinking, well, are the people behind me even going to be able to see if I have this umbrella? So then I expand it, right? Just to see how big it is. And I say out loud, I'm like, gosh, Megan, seriously, what did you need this big umbrella for? And she grew up half the time in Florida and half the time in Utah. I was like, gosh, Megan, what the heck did you need this big old umbrella for? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, by the way. I said, you act like we live in Florida. Are you kidding me with this big umbrella right now? No lie, the second that I said that, a bottle of vitamins that were sitting on a shelf in my closet come flying off of my closet shelf, like poof. And it was sitting back. It wasn't like it was on the edge, okay? It was sitting back, and it just came flying, and it rolled. So it had some force behind it. It wasn't like it just fell and you know, was kind of close to where it fell. It fell and rolled. So then I was like, okay, well, now you're just showing off, you big old smart ass. Like, I had to be funny about it because I kind of gave me chills at 2 o'clock in the morning. But these things happen to us all the time since she's passed away. And my daughter was the one that really, really struggled with it in the beginning because it scared the crap out of her because it never happened to us before. I didn't know that I even believed in it until she passed away. And then, whoo, she lets us know that she's with us, which we now don't let it scare us. We now find it very, very comforting, but it's still freaky at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're like, dang, okay, fine, I'm sorry. You can have your big umbrella. Okay, I'm sure, it's good, we're good. Savannah YJ wrote, Win $800 million and can only spend it on yourself or give the money to your loved ones, but you can never speak or see them again. What would you do? Oh my gosh, that's awful. Ugh. I would give it to him anyway, even though I could never see or speak to them again. Just knowing that they were living their best life would make me totally happy. I don't know that I could ever keep that much money for myself, because what the hell do you need with $800 million? Really? Because money doesn't buy you happiness at the end of the day. So what do you really need with $800 million? You don't really need it. So I would totally give it to him. And I would just know that they were having a kick-ass life. And, you know, just hope I could see it on Facebook or something. 5 times a year I'm on Facebook, but, you know. Okay, so that was a freaking good question, though. Tabitha Tuttle asked, my question is, what is single most important piece of information, tip, advice, etc. that you have ever been given that changed, shaped your life, and how? And doesn't have to be beauty related. I would say the first person that ever really spoke to me about my Savior, Jesus Christ, I would say that, in my opinion, was the most valuable information that anybody could ever give me. And because of that information, I have a personal relationship with Christ, and that relationship with Christ is the most important thing to me. So I feel like that person that first spoke to me about my Savior was definitely the most valuable piece of information I think I've ever been given. Melissa Barza asked, hi girl, first of all, I wanted to say I enjoy a lot watching your videos. They distress me a lot, and I'm so proud of you for your successful channel. And my question is, what age did you start wearing makeup, and how did your mom feel about it, if it was a young age? I was 15 when I first started wearing makeup, and my grandmother actually took me to like Dillard's and, you know, like the Estee Lauder and Lancome counter and stuff. And she bought me the Lancome pressed powder, the foundation powder. And she bought me a blush, and she bought me mascara, and I think a really good lip liner or something, or a lippy or something like that. And she was the first person to introduce makeup to me. My mom wasn't really into it, but my grandmother was. She basically taught me about makeup, and my mom was okay with it. She didn't care. As long as I didn't go overboard with my makeup, she was totally fine with it. And I used that Lancome powder foundation for years. I would say probably, gosh, till I was in my early 30s. Yeah, I used that powder foundation for years. Even when I didn't have a lot of money, I would take the money that I had for makeup and only buy a few items. So that was one of them. I_bleed_makeup asked, my question is, have you ever had to deal with a family member or someone very close to you that was or is going through serious substance abuse, addiction, and or serious mental, emotional issues? And if you have, how did or do you deal with it personally, and how do or did you help that person cope? By the way, I'm so happy you loved the Blood Roses mascara. I knew you would. She was the one that told me about the Kevin Aquan Blood Roses Expert Mascara. That's a great question. And yes, actually, my stepdaughter, when she was in her early 20s, she suffered a brain injury, a hemorrhage on her brain. And from that point on, she kind of changed. She had some emotional issues and some depression issues and just kind of erratic behavior. Her rational thought was affected by that brain injury. And then several years later, she had a blood clot on the brain. And after she had that blood clot, she suffered from all this pain. It was almost like this phantom pain that nobody knew why she was in all this pain. So the doctors always had her on all these different medications, really, really, really hard drugs. And her behavior was just so up and down, and she became very dependent on that medication. And it was very, very hard to watch her kind of slip away from us. And the person that we knew at one point was completely different. And my uncle suffers from mental health. He's suffered from manic depression for years, since I was a baby. He's not married. He still lives at my grandparents' house. And watching him go through that depressing, it's heartbreaking to watch your family member suffer so bad and you can't do anything to help them. And with my stepdaughter, you know, hers was a little bit different situation. But at the same time, my husband and I were always at a loss to how to help her. And it was excruciating. I I can't even begin to tell you how horrible it is to deal with somebody that either has addiction or, you know, mental health issues. And some of the mistakes that I would say my husband and I made that maybe, you know, might help you if you're dealing with somebody that has addiction issues is to listen more. Instead of being so like blaming them, try to help them. Try to understand from their perspective what they're going through, because I know that my husband and I would get so frustrated with my stepdaughter that we'd be like, look, you are throwing your whole life away. Like, what is wrong with you? Instead of just being like more compassionate and being like, wait a minute, you know what? How can we help? Like, what can we do? And, you know, of course we did that, but I still feel like we didn't do it enough. I feel like, you know, because we'd get so frustrated that sometimes we'd kind of lash out and be like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is wrong with you? And that was so incredibly wrong. And I definitely don't recommend that, because it is a disease and they are suffering from it. And, you know, people can argue that all day, whether it's a disease. It's some of it, yes, maybe it's self-inflicted, but some of it, they don't know what to do. They're in that situation where they don't know how to get help. And I feel like addiction is real, and I would have more sympathy for someone with addiction, and I would be more understanding with somebody that has an addiction issue or, you know, depression. Come on. I mean, you just have to watch somebody that lives in depression every day and you just feel sorry for them. Like, you feel empathy. If you have a family member or a loved one that is suffering from addiction or depression, I recommend you getting group therapy. Go to your local addiction center or whatever it is, and you find a group that a trained professional can help you how to help your loved one. There's no instruction manual on how to deal with somebody that has addiction and how to do it effectively. And I recommend that 100%. Would it have made a difference with my stepdaughter? I don't know that it would have. But what I do know is the pain that my family has went through on losing her, I don't wish it on anybody. And even though we now have peace knowing that she's in heaven and she's no longer sick, she's no longer in pain, I would give anything to have her back, even for a day. So, I recommend getting help and seeking some kind of, just seeking some type of guidance on how to handle. You know, they always have therapy groups for families, and I highly recommend it. I really do. Because you need to learn how to cope with it, and you need to learn how to help them effectively. And that's my advice to you, and for all of you out there that do have a loved one that suffers with depression and, you know, anxiety or addiction, any of that, it is just awful, and my heart breaks for you. Patricia Allegra, I don't know if I'm saying her name right because I botch everything. I'm so sorry, Patricia. My question to you is, how do you feel about all of the YouTubers that get paid for advertising a product and tell the whole world that they love a product when in reality they hate it, but claim to love it only because they are getting paid to talk about the product? How do you feel about it? Would you do sponsored videos? I mean, you are one of the few out there that buys most of your products, and I trust you, but it's hard to trust others because most of them get paid to advertise the product. So I feel that in the end, it is not an honest review on their part. All these sponsorships coming to light, I feel like all of a sudden it's just become such a negative attachment. And let me be honest with you, I have turned down many sponsorships. In fact, I just turned down one the other day, and don't get me wrong, they're like $200-300. I think the highest one I've had so far was like $500, and they will not allow me to try the product first, and I won't do it. And so I've yet to find a brand that will send me the product first, let me try it. If I like it, then I will consider doing a sponsored video, because it would be nice to have that little bit of income to help me buy some of the products that I review. But it's not necessary, and I'm not going to sell myself out for $500. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going to get on that stripper pole. I might get on the stripper pole to feed my kids. Now, I probably would. All those out there that have to do that, hats off to you, because you got to do what you got to do to feed your babies. There's no judgment, never any judgment towards that. Watch Samantha Ravndahl's video about sponsorships, which I will link that in the description box down below. And also RawBeautyKristi, she just did a video a couple weeks ago about sponsorships. The way that she's approached sponsorships is just amazing, and it's exactly what I want to do. And in fact, I would love to be more like Tati, where I don't do very many sponsorships, but if I do sponsorships, this would be the criteria. You need to send me the product, you need to let me try it, you need to let me feel how I feel about it. I've had a brand recently who kind of reneged on what they wanted. I was about to do a sponsorship, and we had went through the whole, talking about everything, and it's a very well-known brand. They reached out and said, hey, we want to do a sponsorship with you, and da-da-da-da-da, and I was like, okay. So we talked about it, and they sent me the contract, and we agreed verbally that I would be able to be very honest with my review and, be able to say what I felt about it. And because it was going to be several products that they were going to send me, they were just basically sponsoring the video. It wasn't like it was a 2-minute, whatever. It was a sponsored entire video. And so then when they sent the contract over, fortunately for me, my husband and I, we kind of understand contracts because we do them a lot. And he was like, Tara, this is not what you think it is. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I go looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not what we verbally agreed on. Like, are they kidding me? And so I emailed him back, and I was like, wait a minute, this contract is totally different than what we discussed. And so needless to say, it never happened, and I turned it down, and I don't regret it 100%. I will continue to turn them down, because I'm not here on YouTube to make all this money on all these sponsorships. Like, that stuff means nothing to me. My husband and I do very well on our own. I don't need the YouTube income. I don't. And I will never sell out myself, my review, my true self of who I am for any money. And because there are so many YouTubers that do that, it's given this like negative space around all these sponsorships. There are some true YouTubers out there in the beauty community that do sponsorships, but are true, and they are real. Even though you might feel like, oh, it's sponsorship, it's sponsored, so, they're not going to give me their full honest review. If you find the right YouTuber, they are. And it's only a select few that are bad that has just tainted the entire situation. But I do want to make that perfectly clear, that just because somebody does sponsorship videos does not mean that they're lying to you and that they are a horrible YouTuber, because I don't believe that's the case. What I do believe is there's been so much lies and so much money-hungry YouTubers that they have made it such a negative place, and it shouldn't be. I just feel like it's not fair to judge every influencer and every YouTube creator based on those bad bunches out there that are completely lying. So that's my opinion on it. Do your research on your creator that you're watching and who you choose to support. Be very selective, but I definitely wouldn't judge the entire community based on a few bad people. Pamela Rose asked, what are you looking for in the upcoming months? What made you decide to have a YouTube channel, and how much your life has changed? Again, because my life was so wrapped up in my kids and my family, I didn't really have a lot of friends. Like, I didn't really have a lot of friends where I went out and had girl time and all of that. I didn't do that. I was the mom that just was always with my kids, always with my husband. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a great marriage because of that, and I also have great kids because of that, but I never was that person that always had a big group of friends, and I always wish I did, but I just didn't. I didn't take the time to create those friendships. Now, don't get me wrong, the friends that I do have, they are my friends for life, but because I am that ride or die type of girl. I'm very, very loyal, and sometimes too much, and sometimes I get myself into trouble by being too loyal because I will pop somebody in the mouth. I'll get a little scrappy if you disrespect somebody I care about. I will. No, gloves are coming off when you mess with somebody I care about. So that's not always the best thing, but what the channel has done for me has been everything. Just developing friendships with you guys, because I truly feel like you guys are my friends. And the level of support and love that you guys show me all the time, just, it just is amazing. I can't tell you guys how much it means to me, and I can't describe just how important it is for me to have this relationship with you guys, and I didn't know how much I needed it or how much I was missing it. And so it's almost what drives me every day to upload and continue my content, is just having that interaction with you guys and having that friendship. I'm enjoying the road, and you know, having this platform and having the relationship with you guys has completely changed my life. Okay, Angela Morgan asked, my question is, what has been one of the most meaningful, positive, memorable responses you've received from a subscriber? I really, really adore you bunches. You are so generous to do this, and I'm fairly new subby, so I'm glad to have found you. Good luck to everyone in the giveaway. That actually just happened a couple of days ago, and let me see if I can find it. It was from a subscriber of mine. Her name is April. I had uploaded my Valentine's Day, my first tutorial using the more affordable options. And I was having a really bad day that day, really bad morning. And I was exhausted, and I hadn't had much sleep, and I had just had some kind of shitty news. And I read this comment, and it like put everything back into perspective. You know, she just said, I absolutely believe this video can attest to the kind of person that you are. I actually had chill bumps for a second. For you to do a drugstore and later to come and do a high-end Valentine's Day look, how thoughtful. Many young ladies and women are not able to afford high-end. And I just say spot on to not forget about these ladies. Sisterhood and uplifting, it seems trivial to some people, but you will never know how important it truly is. I never forget our sisters who may not be as fortunate. You never really know the impact that you may have on someone's life. God bless you, Tara. And that was just on such a horrible part of my day, and reading that comment just, man, it filled me with so much love. That comment came just after I had went to the women's shelter and donated a lot of my makeup that I'd never used. And so I just had that experience, and it reminded me that no matter how bad my day was that day, my life is so much better than the women at the shelter and the things that they've had to go through. Whether they're there because they're homeless from, you know, trying to get clean from drug abuse, or they were physically abused by their spouse or their boyfriend, or whatever got them there. Those were some of the strongest, most beautiful women I've ever been in a room with, and they made me a better person. And she reminded me within that comment just how minuscule your problems can be on a day-to-day basis compared to everybody else and what everybody else is going through in their life. So, you know, sometimes those reminders are exactly what you need right at that perfect moment. Katrina Reed asked, what has been your most memorable or most exciting experience from YouTube? I don't know. That one's a tough one. When I hit 5,000 subscribers, that was so major for me. I honestly thought it would take me years to get to 5,000. I really did. I come on here thinking it's going to take me years to be at 5,000. And when I reached that level, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can do this. This is not that bad. Like, it was a really incredible moment for me, and I was very proud because I do pour my heart and soul into my channel, and it was a really good moment for me. It really was. I would say it was probably the most memorable because I was a boob that day. Beth Hughes asked, you're so fit. Oh my gosh. That's only because you can see me from here up, okay? You can't see me from here down. Oh my gosh. I'm almost 40, so my butt sags. You know when you used to sit on a pair of bleachers and you had a nice little butt to like give you some cushion? Every time I go to my son's basketball game every Saturday, my ass is numb by the time I leave out of there because it's like sitting on bone. I gotta work out. I'm not lazy, but I never find the time to work out. I do need to work out though, but I'm not fit. Let's just stick that out there. I am not fit. I wish I was. I do wish I was, but oh my gosh. Okay, what is a typical day of eating like for you, and do you enjoy cooking for your family? I don't know much about you, but for some reason watching your videos feels like hanging out with friends. I love that. I'm looking forward to learning from you. I love that we feel like friends. Like, that's what I want, because I feel like you guys are my friends, and I want you to feel like I'm your friend. I love that so much. Oh my gosh, I love that. Yes, I love to cook. Cooking is probably my second passion. It really is. I love, love, love to cook. And I subscribe to Home Chef, so we have meals, you know, like delivered like 3 days a week. And I love it. I love to kind of pull out those new recipes and, you know, create something new that I would never recreate. But I love to cook, and I've always loved to cook. And my husband and my kids have always been very spoiled with me cooking. I'm not a baker, but I do love to cook. And I do try to eat a little bit more healthy, but I don't really watch what I eat. I do have pink lemonade sitting here. Is that bad? I drink a shiz ton of water though, you guys. Like, this is my Yeti cup, and I don't even know how many ounces this is. It's maybe like 32 or something, but I will drink, I don't know, like 5 to 8 of these a day. I drink a ton of water. Like, I can't even tell you how much water I drink. I am constantly filling this up. So the more I drink, I feel like it kind of does help to keep me leaner. But I'm definitely out of shape. I really need to get to the gym. Metrini asked, what is something you think everyone should do at least once in their life? Definitely 100% be a part of a charity. I don't care what it is. I don't care whether you are donating your time to a women's shelter, whether it's cancer, whether it's for children, whatever you're passionate about, be involved in a charity, because in my opinion, it will keep your soul humbled. Being around people that are less fortunate than you will keep you humbled. And I 100% believe that wholeheartedly. My kids have been, you know, I've pushed them since they were babies, little kids, to be you know, donate toys to charities. I have a very strong belief in being charitable and being giving and giving your time to help others. I'm all about it. So I feel like if you're somebody that's never really done it, I encourage you to look, you know, go to your church, go to your friends, look in your newspaper, whatever it is. Go online, find a local charity, and become a part of it. Just do it one time. Just volunteer your time one time. It'll change your life. Promise, it'll change your life. Adrian Bell, do you have a special something object that you wouldn't trade or give away for anything in the world? Something you could never part with. What is it, and why is it important to you? Well, I do have it. It's right here. And this ring, it has no value, but for me, it's everything. And this is my grandfather's class ring. And he graduated from Beaver High in 1960. And my grandmother actually sized it down for me to fit my little teeny fingers. And I love this ring. This ring is very, very special to me. My grandfather is probably the most important person in my life, and I adore him, and he always has been the most important person. Don't get me wrong, I have my husband and my kids, but outside of my husband and my kids, my grandfather is it. I don't think I would sell this for $1 million. I really don't. I could never part with this. No amount of money would ever be worth giving this up, and I love it. It's everything to me. Joy Smith asked, do you see yourself having another baby since your babies are grown, or will you start up your own line of products? And if so, what products would you want to start your company off with? Ooh. I'm not going to have any more babies because I don't have a uterus. Yeah, I had a hysterectomy, so I have an ovary, but I don't have anything else. And so no babies, but I don't have a period. Yes, no period for this girl. Hallelujah. Would I ever start my own products? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I guess maybe. I would never say never, but maybe. If I would start out a company with something, oh gosh, you guys know it'd be foundation and concealer, skincare. All day long it would be foundation and concealer. Holy shit, yes. Yes. Okay, that's enough yeses. Nicole Partney asked, what do you hope to achieve, or how do you hope to impact others via your channel? P.S. I'm going to try out one of your Valentine's Day looks with my Violet Voss Pro palette. I never opened it until today and noticed some of the colors might work. Wish me luck. Good luck, Nicole. You can do it. I know you can. I want you to all feel empowered. I don't know if you guys are like this, but when I was looking on YouTube and I was trying to find like eye tutorials or any kind of makeup tutorial, they were all so difficult for me. And they always, okay, for example, like Nikki tutorials, okay? Her eyeshadow looks are so unachievable for me that I can't even watch them because I'm like, I could never do that. I want to to be that person that makes you feel like anything that I do is very achievable, because I can tell you right now, if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm not a makeup artist. I've not been doing eyeshadow looks for many, many, many years, okay? I just started dabbling in eyeshadow like a few years ago. So if I can do this, you can do this. You know, I have bad makeup days, and you know, I look back on pictures and I'm like, oh my God, my under eyes were way too light, or I had way too much blush on, or my eyebrows look terrible. I want you to know that it's okay. It doesn't matter. Makeup is makeup. It's superficial. It washes off. If you mess up, it's fine. Like, it is what it is. Keep practicing and you'll get it. And we're always changing. We're always evolving. And what we like now, we won't like 6 months from now. And I really liked that bright Kim Kardashian under eye. I don't like it anymore, and I'm trying to move away from it, but all my concealers are way too light for me, and so I'm trying to get through them before I buy the right shade. And so these things happen to all of us, and don't take it so serious, and don't feel frustrated. When you look at all these influencers that have these perfect makeup, that's what's happened on the Instagram world too, you guys. The Instagram kind of drives me crazy, because those looks are not achievable because they have been photoshopped to the hills. I mean, come on. It's so unrealistic on the Instagram world. Like, some of those makeup looks are unrealistic, unachievable, and I feel like it hurts people because they feel let down because they can't do that. They're like, why can she create that beautiful eye look and I can't do it? That's not what it is about. You do you do your best, and you will get it. But it doesn't have to look like that to look pretty. It doesn't have to look perfect like it does on Instagram to be pretty. And I cannot stress that enough, and I want this place to be very easy and very achievable eyeshadow looks that are beautiful and make you feel beautiful, because that's at the end of the day what matters is how you feel about it. Doesn't matter what everybody else tells you. I get comments constantly of being like, oh my gosh, you have too much of this on, and oh my God, you don't look good, and you got too much Botox, and you got that. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care what they say, because I'm happy with it. When I look in the mirror, I'm happy with it, and that's what matters. So don't put so much pressure on yourself, and I want this place to be very achievable, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and it cannot be fully blended, and it doesn't have to match. Both eyes don't have to match, and your eyebrows can totally look shitty, and it's okay. You can have too much blush on, and it's okay. You can have this situation going on, and it's okay. It's fine. Just be happy, and if you look in the mirror and you're happy with it, then that's all that matters. Okay, that was a long tangent. Okay, beautiful butterfly makeup playtime. I love her, by the way. Her question is, hello, my friend. My question is, what is your favorite look? Smoky eye, halo eye, or a cut crease? Ooh. I think out of those three, I like the halo eye. There's something about my eye shape that I like a halo eye with. I really like that pop right in the middle. So out of those three options, the halo eye for sure. The WC Punk 4 asked, where do you want to be in a year from now with your channel? I want my editing to be better. I really, really want to learn how to do better editing, and I want better lighting, and I want a better camera. That's what I want. And I do want to change my background. Like, I kind of want to get rid of the whole this gray background situation, and I maybe want to have like a shelf on a wall and some of those pretty little Christmas lights hanging down. You know what I'm talking about? If the question was meaning like how many subscribers do you want, I don't really care. And I want you guys to hear this. I've heard so many people ask me, why do you not have your subscribers count underneath your name? And I deleted it, and let me tell you why. Because I was paying way too much attention to it. At one point, I was checking it several times a day. Like, oh my gosh, how much have I grown today? Like, how many... And this was a couple months ago, but I was like, When I seen myself concentrating so much on that number, I shut it down. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to delete that so that I don't see it. Now I don't even pay attention. It'll go a week before I even check how many subscribers I have. I always said, if I don't grow any more than I am right at this moment, I'm completely 100% content, because the relationship that I have with you guys is everything to me. It means more to me than having 100,000 subscribers or whatever it is. So for those of you guys that have wondered why I don't show the subscribers count, it's for my peace of mind and for me to concentrate on what's most important. Okay, Sydney Verche said, since you're both a mother and wife and that can tend to overshadow your identity. What things do you do on your own to make you feel like you? Oh my gosh, girl, I wish I had the answer to that question, because it's truthfully like makeup and hair and just trying to feel like me. And like I said earlier, I kind of lost myself in my 20s and 30s, focusing so much on my kids and my husband and being that, like, having all these different hats, that I kind of pushed myself to the side. So truthfully, this is my outlet, and, you know, sharing my love and passion for makeup and finding those hidden gems and getting all excited when a foundation works, and that is truthfully what fulfills me. Annie Rice asked, I'd love to hear the story on how you met your husband, all the sweetest details of falling in love. Aw. We actually met at the apartment complex that I was working at, and he was actually living there with his daughter. He had his daughter when he was 15, and so they were very close in age, and she's only 2 years younger than me, by the way. She's passed away now, but she's only 2 years younger than me. I thought he was married because it had her name, it had his and her name on the lease. He came in there complaining about his neighbor, and boy did he go off. And he was from Florida too, so he had this like really sexy southern accent that I was like, oh my God, this married guy is hot. We met and married within 3 months. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? Met and married in 3 months. I don't always recommend that, but it was love at first sight. It really, really was. And he chased me pretty hard, and I fell pretty hard. So there you go. Patty B asked, what inspired you to start your channel? And I'm so happy you did, by the way. Love you. Oh, I love you too. Basically, I'm sure you've heard why I started it. I just did not feel like there was enough women in my age group that was giving good tutorials or giving thorough tutorials. That's the one thing that I really thrive to do, is be thorough. And sometimes maybe my videos are longer because I'm more thorough, but I miss those like old Jaclyn Hill days where it was just a good old-fashioned tutorial giving you the basics and the this is this and this is, and I miss that. And I felt like it was just too many challenges and too many this and too many tag videos, and I got bored with all that. I wanted the good old-fashioned tutorials, and so that was pretty much what inspired me. Caroline Wesson asked, what charities do you hold most dear to your heart and why? I know you've talked about participating in charities before and was just curious which ones mean something special to you. Love you so much. You are such a beautiful person inside and out. Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. The women's shelter was the first time I went there a couple weeks ago, and I'm actually going to kind of start working with them more regularly. I do a lot of charity work through my church. My church is very, very active in charity. Sometimes we're helping children that have been sex trafficked, which is the most heartbreaking thing to me. I can't even, oh my gosh. Or we're feeding, you know, a village in Uganda. So I try to be as involved as I possibly can. And next year we are planning a trip to Haiti, and I'm very, very excited about it. And let me tell you this, if I was ever fortunate enough to have a successful job here on YouTube, the money that I would make from that would definitely go for charity. For me, that's what life is about, is being a better person and giving to those that are less fortunate than you. And I would definitely, that would be my road. That would be my passion. But when I was in my 20s, that might not have been my passion. I probably would have had 50 Chanel bags in my closet. Now I could give 2 shits less if I have any fancy purses or, you know, fancy da-da-da. That stuff doesn't mean anything to me. Jordan asked, first question is more personal. Second is makeup skin related. Number 1, with being married, having children, we mothers and wives know that this can be very isolating. Was YouTube your big venture into something to create a different or your own identity besides the title of mother and wife? I'm a blessed stay-at-home mother and wife, and I know life has more in store for me. It's just my season to be a mother 100% currently, and I love that. If not, when or did you come to create your identity more than just in your family? Okay, that's a great question. And yes, when your kids are young, you feel like you're at their beck and call at every moment of every day. And when my kids became teenagers, they become a little bit more independent, and they're kind of doing their own thing now. And that was very hard for me, because when you're a mom and you go from being needed all the time to not really being needed anymore, it's an adjustment. And my oldest is fixing to go to college in August. That sucks more than being turned 40, I can tell you that right now. And that's a very hard adjustment for me. Women, when you give your whole life to your kids and then they grow up and you're like, oh my God, now what? Because that's what happened to me. Oh my God, now what? What do I do now? Like, they don't need me anymore. Like, what do I do? And fortunately for me, I do have a strong marriage, and so my husband and I are very close. If I didn't have a strong marriage, I would be very lonely, because my kids don't need me much anymore. They still need me like they do when they're little. It grows so fast, and people told me that when my kids were little, and I just didn't believe them. I always thought they were going to be little forever. They grow way too fast, and before you know it, they will be going to college. I also wish that I did take just a half hour every day just to do something for me, whether it's read a book or whatever it was. Just take that time out, and I didn't do that. Has this channel been an outlet for me? 100%, hands down, yes. Does it bring me joy? Yes. And that's what drives me. Great question. What is your biggest skincare makeup regrets growing up, and advice for us young subscribers to take to protect and care for our skin? Number one, wash your face every day. When I was younger and I had great skin, girl, did I sleep with my makeup on? Duh. Yes. Yes, I did. I will fully admit it. I slept with my makeup on. Sometimes I was too tired. I mean, come on. You've been up with a baby all night. You're running ragged. You're exhausted. The last thing you want to do is take 20 minutes to go in there and wash your face. Do it. I promise you, do it. Number two, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you, you need moisturizer with sunscreen. I'm telling you right now, if you need to stop what you're doing, push pause on this video, head to your bathroom, and you need to look at your face moisturizer. And if it doesn't have SPF in it, you need to switch it, and you need to get a different moisturizer, because you need SPF. You need to be wearing SPF every single day. And I was recently telling that to the girl that does my nails, and she was like, you mean like the spray sunscreen? And I was like, wait, what? She didn't even know what I was talking about. She didn't realize that moisturizer has sunscreen in it. And she was like, well, I usually wear sunscreen in the summer. I'm like, you need to be wearing it every day. It doesn't matter if it's 20 below or 100 degrees. You need to be wearing sunscreen on a daily basis. You protect that skin from the time you are a teenager. And I've been stressing that with my daughter. I've been trying to stress my son, but you know how boys are. If I could go back, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have the hyperpigmentation that I have. I would have so much better skin. Always wear sunscreen, and always wash your face every single night. Okay? Every single night, or Mama's gonna kick your ass. Christina asked, I don't know much about you since I just joined, so you may have spoken about this before. Other than being a mom, what has been your most rewarding or most favorite job or career? Let me tell you something. When I was younger, I worked in the care center as like a CNA, and it was the best job ever. Now, don't get me wrong, I did get shit on. That's probably a story for another day, but I worked with the elderly, and it was amazing. If I could go back, I would have went to nursing school and became an RN, but you know, life took me on a different path, and I'm okay with that. But there's something about helping people in their time of need. Okay, Solstice Beauty by Jessica. Hi, Tara. The question, I love you, Jessica. Hi, Tara. The question I'm asking you is something that I'm literally asking myself as I hit my 40s. What is in store for your 40s? What are your dreams? What are your fears, your plans? Evolve your family and yourself personally. I love you, girl. Always and forever, your 40s sister. That's cute. I don't know, but whatever I have in store for me, I hope it's kick-ass, because the thing that I do want to do is I want to travel more in my 40s, because my kids will be gone by then. And, you know, once they leave the house, of course, I would have my kids with me, live with me for the rest of my life. Like, I would love that, but that's not good for them, right? I want to travel more, and I want to experience the world more, and I definitely want to donate my time donate to more charities and travel the world doing charity work. And that's what I hope is in store for me in my 40s, because I do love to travel. Travel is one of my favorite things to do. Allie asked, if you had a do-over, is there anything in life that you would do differently? I wouldn't be so trusting of others. I've been hurt in the past by giving too much of myself to people that didn't deserve it, and they've walked all over top of me, and I think that's definitely something that I would have changed, because I'm too nice. I'm too nice, you guys. I really am. And it's bit me in the ass many times, and people, you know, take advantage, you know, they've taken advantage of me, and I have had to learn that the hard way. And if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have been as trusting. I wouldn't have given so much of myself to people that didn't deserve it. Okay, Jenna Kent asked, out of all the makeup you have tried since being on YouTube, if you could narrow it down to one, what is the single best and single worst makeup product you've tried? Love your channel. Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, well, I think you guys know the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Yes, girl, yes. She's my fave. She's my bitch. She's my ride or die. I love her so much. The worst? Recently, I would probably say those stupid highlighters from Kaja or whatever they're called on Sephora. I'll put a picture of them right here. Those were horrible. Like the dumbest, most stupid. I don't even know why they're even for sale on Sephora. I don't even get it. Okay, Courtney Kahn asked, I was wondering, why is there no number of subscribers underneath your name? It's because, for my own peace of mind, I don't want to see that number because I don't want to focus on it. The other question was, and how long does making one video take you from record to upload? Depends on the video. This video, because I'm not putting a lot of like information in the description box, and I'm not putting any information at the bottom, even though this is a longer video, it doesn't take me as long to do it because I'm just editing the video and I don't have to put a bunch of content into the video. This will probably take me 2 hours to edit, and it's probably taken me 2 hours to record it. And it'll probably take me another hour once I upload it. But, so that's an easy video. The 2 Valentine's Day tutorials that I uploaded the other day, or the ABH video that I just did, the 2 different palettes in the one video. The ABH video took me probably about 9 hours total. That was record time, that was research time, that was plugging in all the information in the description box, researching all of it, editing it. Yeah, the Valentine's Day tutorial, 7 to 8 hour video editing and, you know, from recording it to editing it to uploading it. So it ranges, but you know, editing and all that, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Okay, Kimberly G asked, 2-part question. If your life became a movie, part 1, who would you want to play you? And part 2 was, who do you think that the producers would choose to play you? In real life, to play me. Ooh. I would want Jennifer Lopez to play me, but they would probably choose somebody like Kristen Chenoweth, because I've heard people tell me that they think I look like her, and I see the similarities. So they would probably choose her, even though J-Lo is such a badass that I kind of want to like be J-Lo. So I mean, that's probably why I want her to play me. I don't know. That's a good question. That's good. Oh gosh, these are good questions. Okay, Jay Parrish 2004 asked, hi TARALYNN, do you enjoy going to concerts? What band or top 3 would you most like to see live? Oh, I love to go to concerts, but I don't go as much anymore, and I don't know why. I think being in a big group of people is really hard for me as I've aged, like being at a big crowd. The last concert I went to, I was just like, get me out of here. I really don't listen to much music anymore. Isn't that bad? I don't really listen to music anymore, and I don't know why. I just choose not to. It's weird. I listen to a lot of talk radio, but I don't really listen to a lot of music. But I've been to a lot of different concerts. I've been to Garth Brooks, which was my first concert when I was 13. To AC/DC, 7 months pregnant. My doctor gave me a note. He told me I could go. And I got puked on and a guy fell on me. That was fun. And let's see, we've been to Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Journey. Oh my God, I love Journey. Oh my gosh, I've been to so many. Let's see, oh my gosh. But all the like 80s, 90s rock bands, you know? I've been to Metallica, which I love Metallica. But the band before him just said the F word, like every other word, and I was like over it. That's kind of the music that I like to listen to. I'm kind of like that classic rewind type of girl. It's bad, I know. Goes to show you that I'm 40, right? Chrissy Osborne asked, I've heard you say in your videos before you spend a lot of money on makeup. Do you ever get PR? Is it all reviews you buy on your own? Thanks. Also, I know you said one question, but I'm dying to know, what's your favorite self-tanner? Oh, okay, I got it. So I'll put my favorite self-tanner right up here. It's my favorite. I love it so much. I have to order it from the UK, but it's worth it. And no, I don't get PR, and I do spend all of my own money on my makeup. Classic Beauty with Arlinda. How long was it from the time you first thought about doing YouTube until you actually uploaded your first video, and what does your extended family think you do? Oh, they all know that I do it. And I don't ever want them watching my videos while I'm there. Like, it's very embarrassing for me. Like, I don't want my husband watching my videos, and my husband's so proud of me. Like, it's so funny. He tells everybody. He's like, oh, my wife has a YouTube channel. My wife's on YouTube. He cracks me up. Like, he went to the carpet store the other day, and he had all the ladies in there, like, subscribing to my channel, and it was so funny. He was like, oh, so-and-so, she told me that she's been watching your videos, and she just loves you. And I'm like, Kevin, seriously? He is so, like, he loves it. He really does. He knows that these long hours, but he knows how much joy it brings me, and he's so proud of me. And he cracks me up, though, because, like, he'll tell guys that he works with about my channel, and I'm like, they don't care. They don't like makeup. He's like, I don't care. Da, 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 da. Like, he brags about it. It's the funniest thing. But my mom and, like, my brothers and my sister-in-law and stuff, you know, everybody knows I have a channel, and yeah, I don't really like them to watch it in front of me, but they do know I have one. Okay, we're running down to the last few questions. I know that this video is like an hour long. I'm so sorry. Carly Raina 26 asked, what is your favorite memory of your life so far? Obviously, besides the obvious ones of giving birth to my kids, which was amazing, and marrying my husband, obviously, but I would say my favorite memory, and this is a bizarre memory, I know, but some of my favorite memories are being with my grandfather when I was younger, and we had such a close relationship. Every weekend we went hiking, or we went up to the mountain and had a picnic, or he took me up to the translators, the TV towers that he works on in our town that I grew up in, and just all the memories that I have wrapped around him has been amazing. The most memorable one, I would probably say, had to have been about 12 years old, and my grandfather and I were hiking Mount Delano, which is a huge mountain in Beaver in Utah. And it's a tough mountain to climb. And we had attempted to do it the first time, and we got snowed out. The second time, mountain goats chased us off the mountain, which that was interesting. But the third time was my most memorable because I was walking and I stepped on a rock and, like, cracked my rib. And he picked me up and carried me all the way down the mountain. And I'll never forget just feeling so safe with him and knowing that everything would always be okay as long as I had him. So that was probably the most memorable part of my life. I don't know why, but that is very significant for me. Sin Toronto asked, how do you think YouTube has transformed the way we approach makeup? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Again, I think that goes back to, I feel like it's very unachievable. Like, some of these YouTubers are just way too much with their makeup looks, and I just feel like it's very unachievable. And I feel like the standard has just been risen of what beauty is supposed to be, and beauty is whatever you define it to be, and what I think is beautiful may not be what you think is beautiful. Nowadays, it's like so much more is better. I don't feel that way. I still feel like less is more, and if you can apply less makeup, the better. The positive impact I feel like YouTube has had, an influencer world and all that, is that brands are hearing us finally. We're finally getting brands to wake up and stop releasing 12 shades of foundation and leaving out an entire section of the population to enjoy the foundation. It's so disgusting to me, but the sad thing is it had been going on for years and years and years and years and years, like for far too long. They're really bringing it to the forefront, and I'm so happy. So that's the positive impact in my opinion. This is the last question. Michelle asks, my question is, what are your thoughts on the YouTube community these days? Were you part of it long before now? I always like to hear what people think about the way YouTube has evolved over the years. Truthfully, I I kind of miss the old YouTube. YouTubers that teach. Use your time wisely and choose who you choose to follow wisely. So on that note, we're gonna end here because holy shit, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I think I've been filming for like 2 hours. So there's that. Okay, so that's it for this Get to Know Me Part 3. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a long video. I so apologize. So let's go ahead and announce what the giveaway prize is. So it is this Tardiest toasted palette. I actually bought a couple of these to throw into a giveaway a couple of months ago when they come up on sale at Sephora. So I'm really excited to give one of these palettes to one lucky winner. There was so many freaking good questions and I just spent like 20 minutes going through them. I feel like what I want you guys to take from this is I want you to know who I am on more of a personal level, but also my intentions with my channel and the impact that I want to have in your life as far as just beauty life related. For that reason, I'm going to choose Nicole Partney for her question saying, what do you hope to achieve or how do you hope to impact others via your channel? And I feel like that question was very important, and it's not that it was unique or different, or it was a great question, and so many of you guys asked me so many awesome questions and some really good doozies too. But that one, in my opinion, is what speaks to me the most, because that's what I want you guys to take from this video the most, is the impact that I want to have on your lives as a creator and someone that you pop in and watch my videos, and I hope that I have a positive impact on your life. That's something that I strive to do. I want to be a happy place. I want to be that happy space that's drama-free and gets rid of all the negative garbage and just pushes it away, and we just enjoy the love of makeup. The trust that you have in my reviews is hands down the most important part for me. And I take that trust very serious. I really appreciate all of your guys' support, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day with your loved one, and I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. So Nicole, you are the winner, and just send me a message on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram right down here at the bottom, and send me your address and I will get this shipped out to you. And thank you for that great question. I love you guys all so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day filled with love and happiness. I will see you guys right back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. and I love you all so much. Bye.